gotta say that then.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can you get through that, Mike? No?
That's good around this one. Thank you.
I don't think it's any easier over there. We got these filed
Secretary,
now.
sorry. Mr. Secretary, has this meeting been advertised according to law?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, yes.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio?
Here.
Mr. Scott?
Yes, here.
Ms. Fisher?
Here.
Mr. Bailey?
Here.
Councilwoman Novak?
Here.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Here.
Okay. First order of business is designation of new officers for Sable Economic Redevelopment Agency. Joe, I'm going to ask you to ask for nominations for chair.
Motion is we're, at this point, in reorganization each year, for all those who may be new, we redesignate officers for the organization for the next year, which will extend from now until reorganizational meeting in July 2024. So I will first ask for nominations for chair.
Just a quick question before we do. Mary and I cannot sit in that position, right? Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I wouldn't vote for you anyway.
You should have said that after
Actually,
the
if you
vote.
want it,
Lynn.
Donna.
No, and in fact, probably the opposite. Thank you, though.
I nominate Mike Diadio.
I'll second.
Wants to keep that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
All right, for vice chair, I'd like to nominate Ken Scott.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Paul. And for secretary, Joe, you're the secretary, right?
By
Well,
by statute.
That's that.
By statute, but we normally elect the sitting secretary in case chair, vice chair are unavailable, then
And
the
an
secretary
assistant.
can sign checks and do things of that nature.
Which one everybody's wanted.
Anybody
All
want
right,
to?
I nominate Rosetta Fisher.
Rosetta. I second.
I second.
Assistant secretary.
You get to sign checks and.
Maybe once.
You don't do any secretarial things, you sign, you're like the alternate, where you sign checks and you.
Maybe
things
once a
like
year.
If I thought that was it, I wouldn't have nominated her. I would've got a meeting after the meeting.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
That's it for the officers, right?
Right.
Now, the
Approval of
calendar,
the minutes?
the meeting,
Does everybody have a calendar in their packet?
Yes.
yes.
You've had an opportunity to review the calendar.
Yep.
Okay, so any objections or questions or comments about the calendar as proposed?
Looks good to me.
And I'll just make one comment, Chairman, if I could. A question came up earlier from one of the commissioners about today's meeting and when the meeting was changed from the fourth week to the second week. And I pointed out to that commissioner that it wasn't changed. It's always the second week of July, and that our annual meeting, we approved the date.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that's the, we go from, the last meeting is July, reorganization.
Right.
First meeting is September.
September.
So it always goes September through July.
Yep.
So there's no meeting in August?
Correct.
We'll be too busy.
We usually have on here the time of the meetings, it's gonna stay at 6:30. Everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
I will amend that to make sure it indicates the, and I'll double check with,
Jessica?
with the clerk's office, to make sure room's available, so we can have the time and the room.
All right, can I have a motion to approve the calendar of meetings?
So moved.
Second.
That's all in favor, right?
all in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Okay, next order of business, 4A, the minutes from June 22. 2023. Can I have a motion to approve, please?
Make a motion to approve on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Abstain.
I wasn't here, so.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Next order of business, 5A, authorization for payment of bills non-NL, that's A through H. Can I have a motion, please?
Make a motion to approve on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
And there's nothing under 5B, is that correct?
Pardon me, sir?
5B, nothing?
Nothing.
5C, authorization for payment of bills to be paid from escrow accounts, to be paid only if escrow funds are available, and that's J through N.
Make a motion to approve on roll call vote.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Diadio?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Fisher?
Yes.
Mr. Bailey?
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak?
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts?
Yes.
Okay, pending matters, waterfront redevelopment, Mr. Samuel.
Yes, progress is continuing to be made. Utilities are gonna start going in front of Epic Church because new water lines, new utilities have to go in. Mike will follow up with something else later in the meeting with regard to easements and the dedication of the right-of-way, but significant progress is going in with utilities. And the other good news is that the legislature has passed the
Aspire?
law, the Aspire program.
Oh, good.
Now they have to go through and get a final decision from the NJEDA, which they hope to have definitely by September. That's what the target is, as they reported to me and Mike today on the phone, right?
Yeah,
And
correct.
they have all of their footing permits?
They're in the process. I don't know that they have them yet.
And they not only the legislature approved it, governor signed it, the EDA has told the applicant that they are qualifying to be part of the program. Now they're waiting for a completion ruling, and then it's hopefully at the September meeting, if not then the October meeting, they get approved, and then it's shovels in the ground, and we're on the way for Bass Pro and others.
And when's the party?
We're asking them every 2 weeks on our call.
We want to make sure our ground is actually broke before we have that party.
The other thing that Dave alluded to with regard to easements, there's a portion of Chevalier Ave that goes along the Epic Church. The redevelopers negotiated with Epic Church to acquire easements and to acquire a sliver of land that they need to make the road wider. So they've gotten easements from Epic to do improvements, landscaping. They'll have to repair Epic's parking lot because they're chewing it up. And then there'll be a deed of right-of-way dedication to the borough.
Okay.
We've been discussing for several weeks the exact form of the documents. David's office and ours and the other attorneys were working on the exact language on it. In fact, on the way here, we were making some changes. It's nothing that you have to approve. It's actually a document that the borough would have to approve. The only thing that we might do is once the engineers and the lawyers agree on the form, it's going to get signed by Epic Church, and I might be holding, or Anthony, since I may retire at some point during this whole thing, we'll be holding it in escrow until the roadway is completed and it's filed, or we could file it right away, and that's the last thing. So just wanted to let you know that there's nothing to approve. We may be holding it in escrow, but it's moving ahead, and they need to close with the church and get in the ground and start making improvements on the entrance.
And timetable?
They want to close next week with the church.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the utilities will follow right behind that.
Yeah.
So,
They already have the water line in, and then the other utilities.
but some of the work is that they have to relocate parking spaces
Right.
from the front to the side and everything else, and that's all covered
Part of-
in a document that has no bearing on SERA, because that's a private matter between SSA and the church.
Okay.
Okay, but it was approved by the zoning board, so it has the blessing of being done in accordance with that.
I thought the church was in a redevelopment zone,
Church is in a redevelopment zone.
and I thought everything they did had to come before us. Not that I care, that I
Yeah.
wanna care about their parking spots.
Their original approval was zoning board approval, so they needed to go back to the zoning board.
Yeah,
Okay. Because they've been before us before,
for the solar
They have.
project,
yeah.
that's right. But this was amendments to stuff that the zoning board approved.
Okay. Anything else? Any questions or comments? Okay, next is receipt and review of request for proposals.
We're gonna do this in two parts, if it pleases the chairman. One, I would summarize and open that we received two qualifying applications for engineer, two qualifying applications for attorney, one qualifying application for auditor, and two qualified applications for special counsel, conflict counsel. If you have a
Right.
problem, you gotta send somebody else. Bond counsel, we have one. Bond underwriter, we have two. Financial consultants, 1, 2, 3. Real estate, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The only problem was.
Real estate appraisers, Joe?
Real estate appraisals, yes. A firm that we work with and had several dealings with in the past who did apply, Sockler, I haven't been able to find the fee schedule on that. Mike, you want to just take a quick look at it for me?
Sure.
And otherwise, it would be a qualifying proposal. So that is the summary of the qualifying proposals that have been obtained. Since it's a, contract, it's a contract issues we were discussing privately.
You wanna do everybody else first?
Joe,
and
you
not
have to have
last,
an
so
extra
we don't
pen.
have to throw this out and then come
Oh, you
back
have
in.
one?
We
Never
can
mind,
close
Kevin
out
says
the
he
end.
has one.
Whatever you- or we'll go
Usually I
first,
find them in
whatever
the drawer back here.
Why don't you guys?
There's nothing there.
Okay.
Somebody stole one, thank you. I just wanted to get rid of this.
Joe, you give me that, I'll look at it while we're
Please. Yes, I looked at it 3 times and I
No,
couldn't
that
find
was
it.
just,
I know, it's gotta
that's
be.
the top part of mine, yeah. That I'm saving. I take that home with me, yes, I do.
Then we have to adopt the resolution to go into.
Oh, I'm mad, very good. I can't
Okay,
get
you
this
have
to my husband.
Because you're discussing
You
the
know,
contract.
a lot of things in flying.
I'm actually reading a book called The Bird Rule Papers right now.
Immediately.
Oh, wow.
They didn't tell me until yesterday.
You know,
Oh,
the
this is
first
good.
thing that came to mind.
That's what I did, I sent it, except I did it in bullets.
Well,
This
that's
one
what I
is set
did.
in.
It's the same thing I did.
going out?
We're gonna
They
read
didn't
it.
tell,
Go to closed
they never
session.
said that.
Oh, okay.
They wanted something else.
Yeah, Chairman,
They already heard me.
uh,
They already got to buy it.
while Joe's looking for a document for the read, I'll read the resolution of the Sayreville Economic and Redevelopment Agency to go into closed session. The points of discussion will be waterfront redevelopment if necessary, and the review and appointment of agency professionals for the coming year.
I move that the motion be approved on roll call vote.
Second.
Actually, it's all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Nice.
Everybody, I get in, that's in, and
Yeah, that's what
everybody
I was
else that's out.
wondering. Nobody out there? Give me a pen, I don't want that ink. I think it is now.
Okay. Resolution regarding SERA office.
John, we're live?
Yeah.
Okay.
Regarding SERA officers for next year, naming of professionals from recently received requests for proposals and approving a calendar of meetings for next year. Okay, I'm gonna go through the list that we discussed in closed, and most of it, and then we're gonna do a couple of separate. For auditor, Sam Klein. Bond counsel, McManaman. SERA attorney, Hoagland Longo. Engineer, CME. Bond underwriter, Northwestern. And financial advisor, Phoenix. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion to appoint Joan Campbell as our recording secretary at a $10 per meeting increase. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Oh, I made the motion, but, okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio,
Yes.
Mr. Scott.
Yes.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak,
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
Thank
Make-
you.
Okay. A motion to appoint Joe Ambrosio until the end of September, pending review this year. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Diadio,
Yes.
Mr. Scott,
Yes.
Ms. Fisher,
Yes.
Mr. Bailey,
Yes.
Councilwoman Novak.
Yes.
Councilwoman Roberts.
Yes.
And can I also have a motion, did we approve the calendar yet? We didn't do that,
Yep,
right?
we did.
We did,
You did.
okay. Okay, any questions or comments from the commissioners?
Do we need to indicate that we're not going to appoint conflict counsel?
No. You had a resolution to read?
No,
No?
no, you
I just make one.
effectively did that.
Okay, can I have a motion open to the public then?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed,
Glenn?
ayes have it. Can I motion to close the public portion?
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
See you in September.
That was so-